What did you like better, Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back?
Empire.
Blasphemy.
We're gonna get you, not another beat. Time to go to sleep.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I built them. I take care of them. I'll fix them.
Captain, you're gonna punch me again over and over till your arm weakens.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, The Bad and The Odd with your hosts Mark and Sam. Today we'll be going over the film Halloween, talking about what we've been up to since last time and giving our top 5 favourite instrumental movie tracks.
Get the comfy chair!
Hi Sam.
Hey.
Okay, what you been up to since last time?
Well, because my exams are finished, I got back into playing some of my games.
Oh, cool.
So I've been playing Skyrim recently.
This is all Xbox,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You do play PC games, but you've been playing...
Yeah, StarCraft and Minecraft, but
Okay.
lots of crafting. But
So Skyrim, what, did you start again or just carry
no,
on?
I carried on from one of my older characters. And
Because that game you can put hundreds of hours into. can't
yeah,
you?
because it's got Radiant Quests, which means that it just like randomly generates them.
Right, so it's forever and ever.
Yeah,
You just get stronger and stronger, do you?
yeah.
Or is there a cap?
I think it's a level 80 cap,
Whoa, that sounds
so
hard.
that's still quite powerful.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Enjoying that?
Yeah. I recently played through the sort of fight. In Elder Scrolls games, there's usually like a magic guild. There's a Mage's Guild, a Fighter's Guild, an Assassin's Guild, and a Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
And they always have different names, usually. Like, that's pretty much their names in Elder Scrolls Oblivion. In this, it's called the College of Mages.
Yeah.
The Companions, who are like fighters. It's still the Dark Brotherhood, but that's continuous. And then there's the Thieves Guild.
Right.
But I play through the Companions quest line. You find out they're werewolves. All of them.
And you've only just found this out, have you?
Yeah, I played through it all, so now I'm a werewolf.
Is that you change at will or when you're angry?
Yeah, I can
or
change,
something?
but only once a day.
That's pretty handy though. So you become an awesome fighter, I guess.
Yeah, I got challenged.
Do you
to
become
fighting a bar.
uncontrollable though? Or
No,
do
you can be control. You can control yourself.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I like that. I really like the sound of that. I haven't really played Skyrim much for various reasons. I haven't really got that much time, so I tend to really only play games I like almost straight away, which can mean I don't. The deeper games sometimes take like Skyrim take a while to get into, don't they? I haven't really got time. Cool. I haven't been playing much games. I've just downloaded the new character for Borderlands 2, called the Psycho, and I'm going to try that. I've lost all my files for my account, which means I have to start games again, which I'm not that bothered about because I haven't played for ages. So I'm going to try and get a bit of time in as a Psycho soon. Maybe today, maybe not. Okay, cool. What have you watched anything or read anything worth? Oh yeah, I bet you haven't read because you've been studying, haven't you? I just got myself a really fantastic little book, which I know you've looked at because I've shown it to you, about the life of Ray Harryhausen, the guy that animated like Sinbad and Jason and the Argonauts, all that. Fantastic book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of artwork pictures, a lot of him doing work pictures, and his own artwork. What would you call it? Like pre-work designs, try and give you an idea. Concept art, yeah, a lot of that, really nice. So I'm looking forward to reading that book. He's an interesting man, and I want to read that book, and I want to watch some of the films again. Actually, I've been watching a few films since last time. I watched A Million Years BC, Harryhausen. We kind of watched a bit of that together, not entirely. It's a film where there's a mix of really boring, dull, not much happening bits where there's just cavemen grunting at each other and wandering around a lot, and then there's also other bits. This is really weird. There's bits where they mix in
dinosaurs.
Well, I was going to say dinosaurs, but I was going to say a lizard photographed to be a dinosaur, but it's an iguana, which is like a Flash Gordon school of making dinosaurs, which is pretty poor. And there's also a giant spider, which is also pretty cool. But once it actually gets to the Harryhausen dinosaurs, it's pretty darn terrific. In this, there's what do we watch? The
Allosaurus attack on the shell
village.
people,
Yeah, that was really
really
nice.
Which is actually really well. It's a good integration between the stop motion and the actors, because this Allosaurus is like pulling over structures.
And they're falling in. It all looks coherent, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. It's Harryhausen was really at the top of his game with this one, I think. And it's a pretty nice. Racco Welsh is in it. She's wearing a bikini and she's blonde haired. And she's all right. She's called Loana. And then there's Tumax, the other guy who's more primitive caveman, more
the Stone Tribe.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like the Shell Tribe, the blondes, Cro-Magnon, and the. I don't know. There's a touch of the Neanderthal, but they're not Neanderthals. But they're a bit more primitive. The rock tribe, isn't it? Yeah. But the nice animated. There's a giant turtle. There's the Allosaurus. There's also a fight between a T-Rex and a.
It's a Ceratosaurus and a Triceratops.
Sorry, Ceratosaurus and a Triceratops. Yeah, that was really nice. But it was like a T-Rex, wasn't it? It was that kind of thing. That was really well done. And there was a bit where his tail was flapping around in front of the Tumac, so he was kind of caught in a rock crevice and he couldn't come out. It was really, really, really nicely done. And there was a pterodactyl attack as well, wasn't there? That was really well done too. There was a fight between pterodactyls. Really great sort of stop motion, that was.
Yeah. So
it was one of those films that the Harryhausen bits were fantastic and the rest of it was dull, so it gets a kind of average score from me, if you know what I mean. It's about, I'll give it about 60. I watched this TV series that was kind of funny called Plebs, which was have you seen In-Betweeners?
Bits.
It's kind of like a cross between the In-Betweeners. Well, imagine the In-Betweeners in ancient Rome. It's like youngish lads. They're not lads. They're working, but they're young men. Not they're like lower, sort of nearer to 20 than 30, and it's their stupid adventures in Rome, and it's reasonable. The characters were quite nice. It was reasonably amusing. I enjoyed it. One of them's a slave, and there's two others that are like working for this woman. And there's all the sort of Roman joke. You know, there's the subjects are very Roman. There's an episode about a gladiator. There's an episode about an orgy, and so on. And it was all right. I watched The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which I've never seen before. I've seen a lot of it. In fact, I've seen most of it in bits, but I never sat down and watched it. In the first 40 minutes, I thought it was overrated. I thought, this film's really not as good as people think it is. But then it really kicked into gear where Jack Nicholson started going really mad. He was talking to dead people and stuff, hanging out in bars full of ghosts and all this, that and the other. Imagine himself in that way. It sometimes gave that impression, because sometimes you see the odd shot of him just sitting in an empty room and then it'd shoot to his point of view and he'd be full of people dancing and stuff. Though they weren't all his imagination, because there was definitely one bit where Shelley Long, who's his wife, not Shelley Long, what's that? Shelley Duvall is his wife, and she actually sees some people when she's not with him, so it is ghosts rather than just him. And it's kind of cool. Have you seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces.
You've seen the madder bits where...
Yes.
Have you seen the bit where she's trying to hold him back with a baseball bat?
No.
No, okay. You've seen the bit with the axe on the door?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah. I've also seen the bit where it's him with the woman in the bath.
Yeah, that's really
disgusting.
Odd. That is really
I've also seen
weird.
The bit where I think it's she walks up the stairs and there's a guy dressed up as a dog.
Bear. That's the bit I'm talking about. The fact that she sees that doesn't mean it's entirely in his head. If it's interesting, Kubrick chose to put that in, because if he hadn't of, it would have played like it was all in his head. You know what I mean? But yeah, there was a final shot. This isn't a spoiler. Well, it is, I suppose. This film's 30 odd years old though. A final shot of one of the old photographs on the bar after he's dead. Taken in 1921, and when it pans into the photo, you actually see him right in the middle of the picture grinning, like he's been there all the time. Very odd. That was good. I can't read my notes here. Oh, Grabbers. Grabbers it's like imagine Tremors set in Ireland, a little Irish village set in the middle of nowhere, its own little island, a bit like Father Ted's Craggy Rock kind of thing. But So Tremors, but set in Ireland, and also the inhabitants, and this weird meteorite comes and starts, and these tentacled, like a bit Lovecraftian thing starts attacking people, and the inhabitants figure out if they get stone drunk, it keeps them safe. So they all have so their answer to an alien invasion is to have a lock-in in a pub and get really blitzed. And it's good. It's pretty fun film. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it about the same level as Tremors, actually. I like them kind of films. There's like, I don't know what, there's Tremors, Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yeah.
Little villages all out, places, remote places where something starts attacking the people. They're kind of fun, those kind of films. And then I watched Black Swan, which is about basically, I really enjoyed this, really good. It's a rip-off of the old Giallo, not a rip-off, a sort of riffing on, or a homage to the old Giallo 70s Italian Giallo films. Do you know Giallo? Do you know what that means?
No.
It's like a genre from Italian cinema where it's kind of quite violent. It's not supernatural usually. It's more like they're psycho killers doing psycho things, and it's quite graphic, the violence in it, and it's got a very Italian 70s vibe. It's full of misogyny, quite casual misogyny, and the women are there just to look pretty and stuff. And it was kind of, not that this film did that, it was just riffing on some of the other sort of really nice aspects of it, the weird stylistic aspects of it. It was good. Natalie Portman was in it, and Mila Kunis, and they both acted really well in it. Natalie Portman isn't the best actress in the world. She's great. She's good in a few things, but not. For example, in Star Wars, she was pretty terrible. Do you think?
She had her bits. But...
Yeah, that stupid robot voice. Anyway, okay. Yeah, but this was really good. I mean, I'd give The Shining 85 out of 100, and I'd give Black Swan 84 out of 100. It was that good, so it's kind of equivalent. Anyway, the other thing, we were thinking about starting a little extra thing in this bit, weren't we? About trying to watch a trailer a week. Either a game or a movie or even a TV show trailer. So we've watched another one, haven't we? We watched Arkham... There's a game coming out in October based on the Batman games Arkham City and Arkham Asylum called Arkham Origins. We watched that. It's on YouTube, so anyone can watch it. Feel free to go away and have a look at it and then come back to this discussion if you haven't seen it. Okay, what do you think of that trailer, Sam?
I really liked it.
I thought it was really good. It was more like a short story than a trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was setting up the universe. Basically, there's lots of... it looks like someone who's wearing a skull mask.
Oh, that's the Black Mask.
Oh, is that a character? I don't know that character.
The thing about the Arkham games is they kind of start to introduce lesser known villains.
Yeah.
Like, though Killer Croc was popular, I don't think like if someone went up to you and said who's a Batman villain, you wouldn't immediately say Killer Croc.
No, you wouldn't know. No, there's at least four, probably more, really, really iconic ones before him, isn't there? That's the thing. Everyone's going to say Catwoman, Joker, Catwoman, Penguin, and Riddler, yes, and probably Two-Face as well.
In this newer trailer, there's Deathstroke, the Terminator. There's Deadshot, and there's Black Mask.
Now I know Deadshot is the only one I did know.
Deadshot was in Arkham City.
Was he?
Yeah, it was like a one of the side missions. You can go around and you find out Deadshot's been assassinating people.
Oh, that's right. You start tracking
bullets. You have to track the bullets.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's been pulling off trick shots.
I'd forgotten. It was Deadshot. Yes, Deadshot was also in terms of things I've seen lately. He was in one of the Gotham Knight stories, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think
there was a Gotham Knight.
Yeah, he was.
Gotham Knight. I think we covered it. Gotham Knight was like the Batman version of the Animatrix. Different stories done by different animators, telling very short stories about Batman and Deadshot was in there. He's a bit like Bullseye from the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing.
But Deathstroke, most people might know him as Slade from the Teen Titans animated series.
Oh, did he change to a good guy then?
No, he was still a villain.
Oh, okay.
He was like the main villain for the first couple of series.
Okay, he kind of reminds me of Deadpool. I'll say it again. In this trailer, he reminded me somewhat of Deadpool.
He's
very well.
He had
a
Deathstroke has like everything's planned out. Everything's done really
not
well.
Like Deadpool.
Everything's done really effectively.
Deadpool's completely chaotic, isn't it?
There was a story on in the Teen Titans animated series where he basically blackmailed Robin into becoming his apprentice.
Wow. Which Robin? Tim Drake.
I think.
Okay, Tim Drake gets sucked into all these sorts of things. Isn't he? Really good trade at this. You know what? When I was watching, I was thinking I wouldn't mind seeing an actual animated show using this engine. You know, whatever they've done to do this.
The Unreal Engine.
It was a really, really good trade. At points, it looked quite realistic. At other points, especially when they're moving, not so much. But as single frame by frame shots, there was some really quite remarkably realistic looking shots in this, and I thought it was good. The whole thing, the fight was really well choreographed and spectacular, wasn't it? There was a fight between what's his name, Deathstroke
and Batman, and he's like snapping the sword.
And did you? I couldn't quite tell. It looked to me Batman's outfit, especially the chest.
Yeah,
it looked like a metal.
Armored.
It was a metal one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
metal chest plate and the arms too. It was almost like a suit of armor at the front, rather than a sort of, I know, that weird plastic leather thing. Not leather. I don't know, whatever he wears. It was metal. It's kind of interesting. Definitely worth a look. 5 minutes or so it was. So it was good. Right, okay, let's... should we move on to our top 5?
Okay.
Okay, our top 5 is our favourite movie instrumental pieces of music.
Number 5 is Alive.
Okay, do you want to start this or shall I?
You can start.
Okay, my first one is from Last of the Mohicans. It's called The Promontory. Here's a little clip. Okay, I really, really like this piece of music. It just... when I first saw the film, I kind of liked it and then forgot I'd liked it. And then about a year ago, I just listened to it again and realised how great it is. It just builds to a fantastic orchestral... It's a really nice as a simple piece of music, but it builds to it's like a really nice orchestral piece of music. Really epic feeling piece of music too. Do you like it?
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it's one that I think the more you hear, the more you like. Is my opinion of it. Anyway, okay, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Gremlins.
Yeah, very. You can't fail to smile when you hear that. Can you? It's
the way it sounds chaotic as well as it matches the Gremlins themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of, yes, you're right. It's kind of fun.
The actual theme is not really introduced until there are Gremlins.
Yes, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it's there at all until they start getting up to shenanigans. Even when they're really going to town, that's when it plays in the first film. I'm trying to remember if it's in. I'm pretty sure it's in the second one. It is in the second film. But I can't remember it. It's really part of the film in the first one, isn't it? Really deeply part of the film. Yeah, it's a nice fun piece of music. Okay, shall I go on my number 4?
Okay.
My number 4 is... Alright, the reason we picked this is because we like... One of the things... We're talking about Halloween later, John Carpenter's Halloween. And the music is kind of iconic for that film, so... That's why we picked this list, and my number 4 is actually another John Carpenter theme, and it's from the movie Assault on Precinct 13. We'll just listen to a bit. Okay, do you like that one?
It was okay.
It's okay. It's again, I think it's another one that builds on it. Assault on Precinct 13 is really one of my favourite Carpenter films. I know he's got some great films, but I think it coincides with the fact it was one of the cheapest films you could buy when video first came out, and we're talking late 70s here. So I actually had a copy of this film, and it was one of the few films I had. I didn't really have any others. So I'd watch. I had this and The Wanderers. So I used to watch those two films quite a lot. I'd have to say The Wanderers and Assault on Precinct 13 are probably the two films I've watched most. I'd have to say I've probably watched this 25 times. So if I didn't like the music, it would have driven me mad. But fortunately, I do, and I really like this. I think it's a really terrific score.
Yeah, the thing I found about John Carpenter, the songs for the films, is that I either really like them or I'm just indifferent.
Right. Okay. Well, which ones do you like? I mean,
I like Halloween.
Halloween's good. Yeah.
I wasn't really a fan of The Thing or.
I thought the thing was spectacular. Right, okay, but fair enough. It's all taste, isn't it? But he didn't do that as such. That was Ennio Morricone, I think. I always associate with John Carpenter, but I actually think in the credits it's Ennio Morricone, which sounds really basic for him, doesn't it? Morricone usually gets some interesting stuff going on, but
I don't know who this Morricone guy is.
He wrote The Good, Bad and the Ugly.
Oh, okay. A
lot of spaghetti western stuff. And we may even be talking about him.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right, you're... Sorry, I've forgotten where we were at. Number 4. Yeah, go on.
My number 4 is the James Bond theme.
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
The electric guitar.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. It's it's been in pretty much every film apart from the non-canon ones.
Yeah. But seeing those, they're not that good.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like them. Anyway, let's not go on to those. There's 22 other canon films, or Eon films that use that theme tune. Really, it's really nice, iconic. Everyone knows it. I think it must be like one of the most famous theme songs ever.
Yeah,
maybe Batman beats it. You know, the original 60s Batman might just beat it, and a few others. But it's up. It's top 5 ever people's theme tunes, I'd say. And funny enough, my number 3 is James Bond 2, but a different one. Mine's from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. We'll play a bit here. Yeah, I think everyone knows this one, don't they? Because it was in The Incredibles as well.
Yeah. And
I was kind of a bit perturbed when I first saw it in The Incredibles. It's like, no, that's James Bond, but it kind of works. I'm more relaxed about it now. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay, your number 3.
My number 3 is the Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Yeah. That's a nice kind of rollicking one, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like pirates would be kind of playing it.
Yeah, are you a fan of the series?
I'm a fan of the first and second film.
I've got to be honest, I definitely have never seen the third, and I kind of like the first one, but for some... And it's not that I think it's rubbish or anything, I just never got... I think I've seen the second one, I can't really remember it. Which one's got the guy with the octopus face?
Second and third.
That's Davy Jones. Yeah. Cool, yeah, nice piece of music that. Is it Hans Zimmer, do you know?
I think so.
Yeah, sure. It's a nice rollicking bit of music that. It's kind of adventure-y and Indiana Jonesy type of stuff in it. Okay, my number 2 is Ennio Morricone. We were just talking about it a while ago. This is he's famous for loads of really good pieces of work. You know, Good, the Bad and the Ugly is probably his most instantly recognisable and famous one, but I've got one that's from the film Once Upon a Time in the West, and it's called Jill's Theme. We'll have a little bit here. Now, it's a fairly grand piece of music, but one of the reasons I really like it is because if you watch it with the film, it's cut into a scene where this lady Jill first arrives in this little sort of town in the middle of nowhere, the frontier, in fact. And as she's travelling through, there's a bit where she starts to travel through town, and get on a cart through town. And as she moves, the camera moves up to from eye level above everything, and does a sort of shot of the whole town as she's leaving, and it just cuts so well with the music. It's really beautiful. I find it hard to disassociate the two, but I do like this music on its own as well. But the fact is, with that spectacular scene, it just works really well. What do you think of it?
It was okay.
It's kind of operatic, isn't it? It's got an opera.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Okay, right. We're at number 2 for you.
Okay, my number 2 is... this is kind of cheating, but it's the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings themes, because they kind of blend into one.
Right, yes. The Hobbit's... Well, isn't it kind of very similar, but a slightly different arrangement?
Yeah, so it's a different tune, but they blend.
Yes.
Like the Shire tune, da-na-na-na-na.
I'm trying to remember who did the music for it. Was it Zimmer again, or was it James Horner?
I think it was Horner.
Horner does some great stuff. Yeah. I think... pretty much the entire soundtrack to Lord of the Rings is a really nice one, actually. It just fits so intrinsically with the film. It doesn't jar at all, does it? It just goes in there. Nice choice. Oh, I do like that one, yes. Okay, that means it's my number 1.
Okay.
My number 1 is... Well, let's just listen to it. Right, okay, then there you go. That's Star Wars. Pretty easy.
We have a common number 1.
We have a common number. I mean, how can you go wrong with Star Wars? I mean, Star Wars. John Williams does some great things. We've got Jaws. Jaws is spectacularly good as a scary theme. So we got Jurassic Park, Raiders. Indiana Jones is just spectacular. But Superman. There's probably loads of others I can't think of, but Star Wars is the most spectacular of his scores. I just like it. What do you think about it? Sorry, you say your thing.
Okay, yeah, it was really good. It sort of snaps you into attention at the start of the film, because
it lets you know you're watching something epic, doesn't it? And the thing is, it's not just the theme that's great. There's some other there's like Luke's theme is really good. Do, 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 do. I have to say, I like some of the music, and one of the things I like about the more recent trilogy is the music.
Yeah, Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates is spectacularly good, and I have to laugh because recently there's been some controversy about IMDb basically putting a spoiler in its entry about Star Trek Into Darkness. But I do remember there was a similar controversy because the soundtrack to Phantom Menace got released months before anyone knew any of the story, and there's a track in it called "The Death of Qui-Gon Jinn."
Oh God!
And people weren't happy.
How do you muck that up?
Yeah, I know. So there was a scene for that. But the Duel of the Fates is a spectacular piece of music, yes.
Yeah.
Quiet, with full choir and so on. Okay. All right, well, we agreed to agree. Star Wars is definitely the best out of the movies. Have you got any honorable mentions?
Terminator 2.
Oh, nice. Yes, I forgot about the Terminator music. Nice. Yes, yeah. What, any others?
No, not really.
I've got a few. I did mention Duel of the Fates in my honorable mentions. We talked about. I also mentioned Raiders, didn't I? But Raiders, I've got on my honorable mentions. That's a really great piece of music from John Williams. I just didn't want to put two John Williamses in. I know you hate. I'm no fan of this film, but in Blade Runner, there's a piece of music. Well, there's a few bits of music from that I like, but the main love theme, written by Vangelis in Blade Runner, I really, really like. It's one with a saxophone. And I also really like the theme song from a film called Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. I don't like the film at all, but I do like the theme music, the electronic theme music. I think it's really nice and sort of pretty. Okay. Alright, shall we move on to Halloween? Okay, there can be any. We'll do some trailers, and then we'll get right into Halloween, and there can be only one.
Are you tired of film podcasts where the hosts exist in a constant blissful state of agreement?
I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I've ever encountered in any film.
Well, you're in luck. Let me introduce you to Chinstroker and Punter. One is an ex-film student with a penchant for David Lynch and art cinema. The other is a man on the street. Listen in perplexed and horrified terror as we tear apart one film a week.
It just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just that's the third time though. I mean, is this on?
You can find us at chinstrokerversuspunter.podomatic.com. So come and share the victory.
There can be only one.
Right, Halloween. I think it was made late 70s. I think 78. Directed. I think it was John Carpenter's third feature after Dark Star and Assault on Precinct 13. It was famous at the time for a number of years being by far the highest grossing film relative to its costs of making. It was trumped by that soundly with Blair Witch. Blair Witch is really holds the record for that now because it was so cheap and it took so much. I don't think that's going to be beaten, to be honest. It might be though, you never know. And I think you'd be fair to say this is probably one of the most influential horror films of all time.
Yeah.
In terms of spawning spawning copycat type of movies. I'd say Night of the Living Dead probably trumps it a little because zombies are everywhere in a minute.
Yeah.
But there was a time Halloween was the most influential. You couldn't watch a horror film without it being a slasher movie, pretty much for a lot of the 80s. There was just loads of them, loads. Okay, what do you think of this one then?
I quite liked it.
It's kind of good. It was slow.
Yeah,
but I think that was more developing the character and building the tension in quite a nice way. And I mean, he's called the Mike Myers is called the Shape in this. The Shape. What do you think?
No, just leave it as Mike Myers.
All right, Mike Myers, not the Shape. Mike Myers. All right. I kind of like Donald Pleasance in this as well. He's kind of the most non-psychiatrist you'd ever have.
Yeah.
He's no trying to sympathise with his patient or any of that stuff. It's like, he's evil.
He does say
deaf.
that he spent like 8 years trying to sympathise, and he spent the next 7 just trying to keep him away from everything.
Yeah. And what made me laugh is at the beginning he does actually say he hasn't talked in 15 years, and I was thinking, well, if he hasn't talked, what have you been doing? How could you treat someone like that if they just don't talk? You know what I mean? Because psychiatry and that it's all about talking.
70s,
yeah,
electroshock.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. And he said something about he sees nothing in his eyes, doesn't he? Nothing but evil or something like that. And I'd actually forgotten we actually see a shot of his face in this, don't we? I'd forgotten that. Where she briefly pulls his mask off right at the end.
Yeah. And
he just puts it back on again. That's his. It's a bit like Batman, I think. That's his real face. Is his mask. Now that mask is supposed to be based on Or
Shatner.
a modified William Shatner mask. You didn't think it looked like William Shatner at all, did you?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I kind of agree
When
with
William
you.
Shatner found out, he was like, I'm honoured. This is a good
Yeah,
thing.
Shatner wouldn't care. He's got way too big an ego to be worried about anything like that.
It was only during an interview that someone said that the mask was supposed to be of him.
That would be a shock if you'd never... Because it's not obvious. You wouldn't be able to guess that. You'd have to be told.
No.
What do you think of Jamie Lee Curtis?
She was pretty good.
She was pretty good. She's a good actress.
She wasn't
Good
the
actress.
typical sort of stupid.
I
main
think
character.
she was pretty good. A lot of the cast weren't bad. I think the first girl today, what was her name? Was it Nancy? The one who was doing washing.
I can't remember.
The one who had to wash her own clothes. She was okay, but the other one who had like pigtails, who's played by PJ Souls, the one that was getting on with her boyfriend in the bed, I thought she was a pretty good actress. And there weren't really many other people in it, were there? The sheriff, I suppose. The annoying kid who saw the boogeyman, and they just sent him to bed.
Yeah.
And the little girl who was about as okay, not great, but okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't she? It was kind of interesting that they were watching The Thing during some of the action, wasn't it? Which John Carpenter would make a few years later, remake a few years later. That was kind of funny. Do you think they was? I bet it was always in his mind to try and do something like that. You know, I got a feeling. Did it scare you?
No, it wasn't really scary. It was creepy, but not scary.
Yeah, it never scared. Some of the jump scares were pretty good. I didn't see them coming. But then the early ones where it was always someone was standing by a door or a window and his face had come up, that made me then kind of tense whenever anyone stood by a window or a door frame.
Yeah.
Which is quite a good effect, really. Cause
honestly, when the girl started trying to get out of the locked washroom through the window, I thought the kid was going to pull on the legs and like half her body would just fall back.
But it's not that gory a film, is it, actually?
No.
I think it probably
The goriest bit was right at the start.
Yes, it was, yes. And I have a feeling if they'd have cut out the sex scene or it been downplayed a little, this is really a 15 rather than 18. Funny enough, what followed on from it, copycatted it, things like Friday the 13th, did become much more gratuitous. But this wasn't that gratuitous. It's funny how some films are way less gratuitous with blood and guts and stuff than you think they are. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot of people, the original one, a lot of people think, oh man, yeah, that's terrible, there's blood everywhere. But in fact, there isn't that much in that film. It's almost all of it, apart from the final scene, is all your imagination. You think you see certain things. You think you see someone getting impaled on a hook, where in fact it's cut in such a way you don't actually see the hook going in. You don't see it in the skin or anything like that. But because it's so horrible, it's kind of that's definitely an 18. But this film, I think, could be a 15 with a few minor cuts, and not around the violence even. Or maybe I don't know. I suppose the stabbing was pretty intense at the beginning, wasn't it? Though you didn't see it go in or anything, you just saw a knife being flailed back once.
It was kind of like in Psycho.
Yes.
Where you just see the knife sort of swinging about.
And then the film starts with him putting on a mask, and then we see it's a point of view shot for the rest of the scene, almost all the rest of the scene, for eye slits on a mask, isn't it? Which is a bit odd to say. It was funny seeing this film because I've only ever seen it in kind of quite a poor DVD version, and I assume the original film was quite poor. You know, because it was so cheap. I thought it was 16mm blown up. But the Blu-ray made it look really nice, didn't it? It looked really quite presentable. Anything else about it?
No, not really.
Do you think it was well directed?
Yeah, it was pretty good direction. The good camera angling and the sort of slow reveals of Michael looked pretty good.
I did. I also like the fact it was... Well, I think they called it... Back then it was cinema verite, but these days they call it shaky cam. It was obviously handheld, but it wasn't annoyingly so. Not annoyingly shaky. It was enough to give you a feel of point of view. It was all about point of view shots, wasn't it? When it was shaky cam.
Yeah.
Which worked really well. And I thought the script was nice and tight too. There was just about enough character you could kind of empathise with them. I thought the cheesiest bit was the gravestone.
Yeah.
He lugged around a full gravestone to set up someone on a bed. That seemed a bit odd. But I guess psychos might do things like that, so it's kind of hard to call it that one on that one. But yeah, it was a bit odd. And I'm trying to think how he killed people. The first one was the girl in the car, and he just strangled. Oh no, he started strangling her, and then he
grabbed her
back.
and then threw her out, and then started driving.
Yes, but then she appeared later on, didn't she? She was laid out on the bed.
No, that was one of the girls, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, we're talking about the nurse. You were talking about
I was talking about the nurse.
Sorry, I was talking about the later on. Yeah, the nurse was all right because he just threw her out. She was okay, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was. Yeah. And then the first girl, he jumped. He's in the back seat of the car. She gets in, doesn't she? She would have. She just realises it was unlocked when she got in it, which is a bit odd. And then he sits up and starts strangling her. And then I think he stabs her in the back.
He slits her throat, I thought.
Oh, okay, I'm remembering it right. I thought he stabbed her in the back. And then there's the guy. He, after he's had sex with his girlfriend, that he goes out down to the kitchen, and Mike Myers basically lifts him off his feet, doesn't he? By with one arm, by strangling
and then
him.
Stabs him in the stomach, which
and impales him into the cupboards, so he's hanging there by the knife through, and then he kills the girl in the bed, which I can't. Blimey, I can't remember how he just stabs her, doesn't he? Or do we not even see her die? I can't remember now.
I can't remember
because he's standing there dressed as a ghost with glasses on. Oh, this is all.
She picks up a phone and then he strangles her with the
phone.
The phone cord.
And sorry, that's what I'm thinking of. And then I think he stabs her in the back. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And Laurie, who's Jamie Lee Curtis, is taking the call and thinks that she's just goofing around, doesn't she? And getting across with her. And then there's the whole scene with Laurie being chased by the shape, Mike Myers. Very tense, quite exciting. And also the kids see something out the window, don't they, and start crying.
Yeah.
But Laurie doesn't really thinks they're just trying to. She thinks the little boy's trying to scare the little girl, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Rather than it being really serious. And then it all kicks off. Then the doctor's lurking around, isn't he? Doesn't he actually at one point jump out on someone and scare them?
Yeah, there's some little kids going up to the Myers house.
Man, that is sick.
Yeah.
And there's the sheriff lurking around, but we don't see much of him. And then he effectively, at the end, he's chasing Laurie down. She stabs him in the eye. She shoots him. He basically becomes a force of nature at that point. He becomes Jason, doesn't he?
Yeah.
There's no nothing kills him. He gets shot, falls out the window. Shot 5 times, I think. Falls out the window. And the next shot, they have a look down. He's not there. And Laurie starts crying. And then pretty much the film ends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't she say to the doctor, "Was that the boogeyman?" And he says, "Yes, I think it was."
Why? Why would you say that?
Why would a psychiatrist say that? After all that trouble. And so it ends and we don't know what happens. And apparently the sequel, which I've never seen, it starts straight at that point and carries on the story. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. What about you? I don't know.
Okay.
John Carpenter did direct it, but I think it might be worth. I think he may have written the script or might have been involved. It might be worth a watch sometime. Maybe we'll watch it soon. Overall, good film. What would you give it?
70-ish.
I'd give it 70 exactly. In fact, it wasn't as good as I remembered it. There was a few dead spots, weren't there? There was a few dead spots. It wasn't like the greatest of the great. But it wasn't bad, so I'd say 70. So do you say 70 or a bit more?
Yeah, I'll say 70.
I don't know, what is it on IMDb? Do you want to have a look?
I'm going to say.
I reckon it must be about
7.9.
Very highly rated. I think you have to give it its due for being so influential. It really did start a massive number of slasher films, most of which were quite poor. If you compare, say, Friday the 13th, which is probably even more famous than this, isn't it, with Jason? That is a kind of crass, silly horror film. It's kind of fun, but it's nowhere near as technically good as this film. It's got its moments, though, I haven't said all that. And obviously it's a massively successful franchise for horror. Halloween didn't do too bad itself. I think it's got something like... I didn't realise it had so many. It's got 7 sequels. There's 8 Halloween films, including some remakes. It's not bad. It's not bad. I was really only aware of 3 of them until I started looking into it. The second one of this is, like, as I say, a direct copy of this. Third one's completely nuts. It's nothing to do with Mike Myers. It's about a weird plot to turn kids into... kill kids by turning their heads into snakes. But we'll go into that. So, it's so mad we should watch it and talk about it, actually. It's really different. It's called Season of the Witch, which is a bit confusing now because there's another film out now called Season of the Witch involving Nicolas Cage in the Middle Ages and Ron Perlman, which is a gem as well. Okay, should we call it a day there?
Okay.
All right then. Okay, yeah. So we'd recommend this film, wouldn't we? I think. Any idea what it might be good with a double bill?
I don't know.
I'd say actually one of the either Nightmare on Elm Street or one of the other classic 80s monsters. You know, Friday the 13th maybe, because Mike Myers is in that league of monsters, isn't he? I don't think he's not in as much in the consciousness as Freddy or Jason, but he's reasonable. He's close. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sounds...
Yeah, cool. All right then. All right, that's bye from me.
Bye.